Mike Tyson is one of the most vicious beasts to have graced the world of boxing, and we're not just talking about the stuff that happens in the ring, we're also talking about Mike Tyson outside the ring, his savageness. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing some of Mike Tyson's most savage moments inside and outside of the ring. Be careful though, because it's about to get nasty. There's only a handful of people who can make threats and have the ability to carry through them. In short, people who can walk the talk, and Mike Tyson is one of those people. When he says he's going to come for you, you best believe that he'll come with no hesitation and in the most violent way he can. During this post-fight interview, Mike has detailed all the things that he went through to win the fight, along with all the hurdles that he had to face. And it makes it even more impressive that this fight was deemed as his shortest. The guy didn't even have to break a sweat. The reporter then asked him, "Mike, is it frustrating to train and only have this fight for 7 to 8 seconds?" To which Tyson responded, "I probably trained 2 to 3 weeks for this fight. I had to bury my best friend and I'd dedicate this fight to him. I was gonna rip his heart out." He then followed by saying to Lennox Lewis, "I'm the best. I'm the most brutal and the most vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been, and there's no one that could stop me. Legs to the conqueror? No, I'm Alexander, and he's no Alexander. I'm the best, and there's never been anybody looser." Mike spoke the truth. No one has come close to this guy, and no one can beat him. And he was undisputedly the best. And then he dropped the mic and walked out like a true king. When Mike Tyson bites, it's going to sting a lot, despite him saying the least, because you know he meant it, and there's a lot of truth to it. When asked about a time where an undefeated boxer, Floyd Mayweather, deemed himself as greater than Muhammad Ali during a lot of debates and conversations between the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight in 2015. He's very delusional. He can't listen to them. If was anywhere near that realm of Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself. He can't take his kids to school by himself, and he's talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself against the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school himself. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man. More than that, he also referred to Floyd Mayweather as dirt and went on record to support his opponent, Manny Pacquiao, in what seemed to be the most controversial fight of the century. Mike Tyson isn't just scary in the ring, because the way he delivers his lines is already a straight-up punching combo that's going to have you rethink your life now and then. When this interview was asking Mike about some people thinking he's going to avoid fighting Alex Stewart, Tyson knew he's not someone who's going to back down to anyone, especially in boxing. What he said, though, is that they should instead be thinking twice about coming to him before anything else. You shouldn't believe that. Because you know why? Because after I left, I'm going to kick Stewart's ass and give him a slow beating and near death, he said, without a hint of doubt in his voice, and vowed to regain the title that he once lost. He went on to throw some bars about stories made up about him allegedly saying that he's a weak fighter, so he went on to debunk them by showing them the numbers that he's gained in all of the years that he was fighting. "They can't say that I'm not a good fighter because you know me, 3.5 years and 11 defense proved it," he asserted. You know they can't say that. Mike Tyson, because of how scary it is to face this guy, has been dubbed as the baddest man on the planet. And he had proven that to be true, as he goes for knockouts after knockouts, no mercy, no forgiveness. He won't do anything but fight anyone who would dare to face off with him. He was vicious, and many of his opponents had always tried, but only a few had gotten him to the stage of defeat. Everybody wanted to be him, but no one can be him. With all of that being said, a lot of people have been wondering that despite how ruthless Mike seems, has he ever met someone that would not want to cross with? Well, he did, and it's one of his good friends and promoter back in the days, Don King. But even if Mike said that Don King was someone to be extra ruthless, he has had quite a sour relationship with the guy after he accused King of withholding and paying him short of $100 million, but was then settled after King had paid a portion after some talk. But again, while Mike and King seemed to have settled their debts, he had nothing good to say about the guy and implied that King was money hungry more than anything else, and that he doesn't know how to love anybody despite trying. He said it's just the way he is. "This was supposed to be my brother, my black brother, but he's just a bad man, a real bad man. He abused you. He would kill his mother for $1. He didn't care about nothing else but the money. So he come to me and told me to say every time I tell the truth you say nobody won't listen because I'm saying something good about another black person, and to all black people we all condemn, including me. And he says so, I want to be able to get the money," he said. In June of 2002, during a press conference on his fight with Lennox Lewis for the heavyweight titles, Mike Tyson did not hold back on dropping some explosive and brave viciousness. Tyson isn't exactly known to manage his anger issues very well, and sometimes he just catches you off guard as he reaches his boiling point and doesn't hold back from saying everything he wants to say to hurt you. But in Mike's defense, it wasn't something his fault that he got triggered. Sometimes people have got to learn some politeness and even some manners because respect always begets respect. "Put him in a straitjacket," a reporter yelled about Tyson, implying that the boxer was too crazy for his own good, and Tyson simply would not have it and wouldn't let it slip. So he answered, "Put your mother in a straitjacket, you punk-ass white boy. Come here and tell me that and I'll F you in the ass, you punk white boy. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your a-hole alive, you B. F you, you hoe. Come and say that to my face and I'll F you in the ass in front of everybody, you B. Come on, you B. You scared coward, you're not man enough to F with me. You can't last 2 minutes in my world, B. Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white kitty. Scared of the real man. I'll F you till you love me, loser." Now, it's not really for us to say, or do we know what Mike would do, but I think if Mike only his way had, he would have walked over to the guy and given him a slow and nasty beating that could immediately send him to bed, permanently. Mike at that time was already past his prime, so despite all of the derogatory language that he had said straight from his mouth, was something calmer by Iron Mike standards, so the reporter was pretty lucky for that alone. This savage moment from Mike Tyson, it also involves getting nasty with some media people who don't seem to know where to draw the line between asking and just plainly insulting. This was an interview that he had done in preparation for his fight with Francois Bava after he got suspended for 19 months after being headbutted so many times, which triggered him to bite Evander Holyfield's ear off. And everyone should know that this fight with Holyfield was a very sensitive matter for him because he thought it was unfair that he gets penalized for months for being triggered to bite his opponent's ear off. Why should anyone blame him? This reporter wasn't reading the room as he asked if Mike had concerns on his part that Francois Bava is an underdog fighter compared to him, and that he may be in for something unexpected that he wouldn't be able to handle. "I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about the number of days that I can, but I will kill this mother effer," he said, letting it known by his tone that he did not appreciate the question. But the reporter continued by provoking him. "Okay, but what about the 19 months off?" Tyson answered smugly, "What about it? What about it?" The reporter remained insensitive and further probed into asking if it would affect Mike's performance, especially since Tyson wasn't that good at handling his aggression and rage inside the ring, with the context of how he resorted to trying to turn Holyfield into another Van Gogh. "Who cares? We're in a fight anyway. What does that matter? F it. It's a fight. So whatever happens, happens." The reporter had a hint that Mike wasn't feeling very excited with the interview and even had the guts to ask why he was talking the way he was, to which Mike replied, "Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you." And they eventually end the interview with Mike having the last word. And that's it for our video today, everyone. Mike Tyson doesn't just hurt your ears when he tries to bite them, he also hurts them when he wants you to listen to him. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to keep up to date with more video updates. Until next time.